What is up, everyone? It has been a minute since I've been on YouTube. I know I told you guys I was gonna post more videos and I didn't, and I'm sorry. But I've been working on a lot of really cool things behind the scenes, which are about to finally come out of the works and into the real world. And one of those things is making my quads lighter. Now, there's a couple of variables involved there, but there's one change in particular that I've been doing recently, which has really changed the way my quads fly. And I believe now my quads are flying better than ever. And will I actually stick with this change? I'm not 100% sure, but I guess there's only one way to find out, and that's to go out and fly it and test it, and that's what we're gonna do today. A little good old-fashioned freestyle. We'll see where we can fly here down in Orange County in the middle of the week, which can be a little difficult, and hopefully get some good packs in, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Let's get to it. Alright, so what changes have I made to my quad in order to make it fly even better? Well, it's really not that much of a secret. It starts with a little 3-letter word, DJI. Yep, I'm flying the DJI Action 2. Among a couple other things I'm going to share with you guys. Okay, so one of my goals for 2023 was to make my freestyle quads lighter. Now, there's many ways to do that, but the big key for this was not compromising durability. In fact, if anything, I wanted to go lighter and more durable. Now, one of the ways I'm doing that is by trying out the DJI Action 2. Now, I know this camera has been out for probably like 2 years now. I tried it once before, I didn't really like it, but one of the guys on the Freestyle team, Dan Z, I'll leave a link to his videos in the description down below. He uses the Action 2 and actually really likes it. He does a couple of settings like locking the shutter speed and just, you know, setting the ISO in a particular spot and just a couple little things to make it look good. And honestly, when I saw one of his videos, I was like, huh, that looks pretty good. I would like to try that, because ever since I stopped flying Session 5s, honestly, I haven't enjoyed flying freestyle as much. I just don't enjoy flying the weight of a, 120 gram Hero 11 Mini up front. So this is, I think, 55, 56 grams-ish without the 3D printed mount or the ND filter. So it's actually lighter than the Session 5, and it's way lighter than the GoPro 11. So the goal with this is not only do I get a better flying quad that's more aerodynamic, but with this frame being super strong, which I'm going to tell you guys more about this frame in the future, so be sure to keep an eye out for this. This is pretty much the ultimate FPV freestyle setup, and when I flew this for the first time the other night, it was like the best quad I'd ever flown in my life. So I'm going to go and put a few packs on it, and we'll see what we can do. Don't mind the background noise a little bit. Okay, so while I'm editing this, I realized I didn't talk about the fact that I'm also using a 20x20 size stack in this quad. So the main way I'm saving weight is by using the smaller action camera, but I'm also saving weight by using a smaller stack. That weight savings may be negligible, but I think overall when you combine it on the build, it's pretty substantial. There's about a 30 gram difference between these two quads, this being a 30x30 stack, this one being a 20x20, and I'll talk more about why that's so much lighter in a future video. But this is using the KISS Ultra mini flight controller, which is absolutely amazing, and when I flew this setup for the first time the other day, it was like the best quad I'd ever flown. But anyways, with all that being said, we'll get back to the video and cut to some flying footage. one thing I noticed when I'm flying the 20mm stack is that it feels just a little bit more twitchy in the air, which makes sense. You know, this is a lighter quad. I don't know exactly what the weight difference is, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the screen for you right now. These are pretty much identical rigs. The only difference is, you know, one has a 30mm stack, the other is a 20mm. And I think this one has, you know, MR30 connectors on it, so maybe that adds an extra couple grams. But in general, the rigs, they fly very, very similar. The 20mm stack is just a little bit twitchier, a little bit more fun to fly, but I feel like the 30mm stack is a little bit smoother, and maybe that's just because the KISS default tune, which is what I'm using on both of these, is a little bit more suited to this weight and everything like that. Not so much the actual like electronics themselves, but maybe it's just suited to the weight of like a 700. Maybe it's not even that much. This is probably like 660 grams, 670 grams. I don't know. I feel like the stock tune on KISS Ultra might be a little bit more suited towards this quad than it might be on the slightly lighter weight rig. So I feel like even though the twitchiness feels nice, it's just, I want it to be a little more smooth. So I think I'm gonna try and play with the tuning on this thing to make it fly a little bit more smooth. I'm sure I can do that. I just need to put some time and effort into doing so. But overall, I really like flying 20mm stacks. It definitely has me coming up with some ideas for how I can use 20mm stacks better and more efficiently in the future. But I'm definitely going to keep putting this thing through the paces. Maybe I'll make an updated video 6 months from now seeing how durable these 20mm electronics are. But ultimately, the biggest thing that has saved weight on my quad is going to the DJI Action 2. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with this long term, but right now I'm really loving the fact that it's super lightweight, it's durable, it's definitely a bit more aerodynamic, although granted I have a big fat battery on there as well. But I'm just loving the way that this thing is flying. The footage with some of the settings that I've changed is looking really good to me. The only thing I don't like, obviously, is the fact that there's a lot of props in view, but that doesn't really bother me too much because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to record my freestyle moments, and the flying is really what's the most important part of all that.
100 grams.
Yeah, guys, those are my secrets on how I'm making my quad fly better than ever. It's using the Action 2 and a 20mm stack. Time's going to tell whether or not I stick with both of those things, but be sure to let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this footage, as well as would you use a 20mm stack for freestyle? I'm curious to hear your guys' opinions on these things. By the way, this is also the VaniStyle Pro frame. I'm going to tell you guys more about this frame in the future, so be sure to subscribe, turn on that bell to know when that video comes out, because I think this is going to be the ultimate freestyle frame for 2023 and 2024. With that note, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe if you're not already. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.